A private investigator is a freelance detective who carries out covert investigations for private clients. These clients can range from wealthy politicians to the lowly garbage man. All are welcome in through the doors of my office, though after seeing the decor and their prospective detective, some choose to walk back out. Often my job is to simply follow people around and see where they go. Whip out a camera, and a couple of clicks later, payday. Homicides are few and far between. The police like to take those, but if you get the job, the money is good. A lot of the job is talking. To clients, to contacts, to the authorities, to yourself. Sometimes the job means you're talking to the woman in your dreams, but sometimes you get thrown out on your ear by hairy-handed bouncers who don't like you talking to the pretty lady. Like last night. I'd woken up with my head pounding like the warm-up act at the rhythm rooms. I was preparing my usual pick-me-up, Alka-Seltzer and bourbon, when who should walk into my office but the blonde who'd paid for last night's entertainment and this morning's hangover. It's a little early in the AM for a house call, Blondie. I haven't had time to type up a detailed report with maps, charts, and little annotations on a single day's investigation, and it was suicide that you'd have me believe is murder. Said I'd give you a call if I found anything.
Mr. Wiggles, I gave you $10 to investigate my husband's murder, with the promise of a lot more should you succeed. I don't think it's too forward of me to want to know what you're doing to achieve this, apart from it seems drinking more whiskey than a seedy Scotsman working unsupervised nights at a distillery.
The lady had been through the ringer recently. She still wore black, a veil, dark glasses, trying to hide her puffy eyes and tear-stained cheeks. Pulled at my heartstrings. Lady, you look like I feel, and I feel like I've been in the ring with a hopped-up kangaroo wearing a fresh set of gloves.
All compliments, aren't you, Mr. Wiggles? I can see why you're drowning in clients. I'd feel sorry for your wife, but I suspect she's in a better place, with a better man.
Ouch. Too close for comfort. I think I prefer the kangaroo at this point.
Why don't we skip the small talk, and you tell me what you've found out?
Sure, why not? I had a look around. Your husband wasn't a fan of silverware, was he? Or maybe he needed a quick book or two.
I'd noticed a few trinkets had gone missing. He'd bought them from me, so I suppose they were his to sell.
What a guy. I spoke to your neighbor. Your reaction tells me you weren't friends.
I'm sure she had plenty to say.
Well, narcissism seemed to be her best trait, but she did point me towards a potential witness. I don't think he'd be taken seriously by a judge unless they'd both been drinking from the same brown paper bag. But he did lead me to Fatso's nightclub, a place I hear your husband was quite fond of.
My husband worked extremely hard, Mr. Wiggles. He deserved to wind down during the evening.
And well into the morning, I suppose.
So what you're telling me is that your line of investigation led you to a bar. How convenient.
Lady, I'm investigating the movements of a man who was found dead in his bathtub in the small hours of the morning. Any private dick who didn't track him down to a bar eventually wouldn't be doing his job right. At this point, she put a handkerchief under a veil and dabbed at her swollen eyes. I'd hit upon a truth she already knew, and then came the kicker. Did you ever suspect your husband of seeing another woman?
Hank would never do that to me. I'm sure you get a lot of women in here, Mr. Wiggles, who say the same thing, but it's true.
Did you know he owed money to Fatso Jabroni?
I don't know who...
You probably don't want to. But let me tell you that Fatso doesn't appreciate being kept waiting when it comes to repaying debts. If your husband was in debt to Fatso, then he probably felt suicide was the easier way out. Wiggles PI.
Wiggles, it's Ted.
Little busy right now, Ted. Can I get back to you?
Actually, it's about the case you're working. I got a call from our medical examiner this morning. He suggested we might want to look at the body again.
You're the police. Why call me?
Well, Brick doesn't seem all that interested. As far as he's concerned, it's cut and dry. I just feel better with a second opinion. Sooner rather than later, okay?
Sure, I'll take a look into it. I'm gonna need another $10. The smell of formaldehyde and other chemicals were giving me a light head. I felt like I was 2 in on one of Joe's 3-for-1 Hawaiian cocktail parties. No hula skirt, no entry. The stiffs on ice had obviously partied too hard the night before and preferred to lay silently in the dark. I realized if I dropped dead right now, I didn't have enough on me to pay the ferryman. Looks like I'll be stuck in limbo land on the banks of the Styx trying to build a raft from other people's discarded body parts. Hey, Jack.
Jeez, Wiggles! You almost gave me a heart attack. I'm too young to end up in one of my own morgue drawers. Give me a minute while I finish stitching this guy's brains into his lower abdomen.
Good to see someone in this town who takes pride in their work.
I got a bottle of wine and a couple of glasses in trap too. Unless you're on the clock.
Normally I don't touch the stuff, Jack. You know my thoughts on wine. It's just fancy water. Ask Jesus. Whiskey. Now that's the golden elixir. You can't cool your coffee down with wine. But that's not why I'm here. What info can you give me on one Mary Jensen?
Sorry, my hands are tied on this one. Words come down from above that it's suicide.
What? But you're the pathologist.
20 years experience and a medical doctorate don't mean jack in this place. Look, I need to, go over here. In my office. For a couple of minutes. Look over some reports. Don't go touching all my stuff.
Bless you, Jack. Let's see who's behind drawer number 1. Nope. Not unless Hank's grown some breasts since he died. Let's skip number 2 and go for drawer number 3. I don't think even Jack would put the wine in with an active case. Bingo. The report said gunshot wound to the side of the head. No surprises there. Though no gunshot residue found on his hands. Wait a minute. 3 broken fingers on his leading hand? Makes it difficult to pull a trigger. This thing ends up like one of Fatso's tax returns.
So, is there anything else I can help you with, Wiggles?
No, I don't think so. See you later, Jack.
Little advice before you leave. Time and tide wait for no man. Make sure you're back on the beach before the current takes you away.
Message received. It was around lunchtime when I left the morgue and my stomach was starting to rumble. Tico's Tacos and Tamales on 10th was close by. I checked my wallet and take out a couple of bucks I didn't realize I had. No advance from the blonde. But I don't recognize the woman in the photo, or the receipts. This isn't my wallet. This is the wallet I found under the dresser in the Jensen house. Tico will be happy. I can pay with paper instead of promises. Hey, Senor Wiggles! Hey, Tico. I'll get a loaded taco with everything on it. Soda, and a couple of fajitas to go. You can clear my tab while I'm here. And hell, keep the change, Tico. Hey, you got it. Muchas gracias, Senor Wiggles. While eating my free lunch, I gave the mystery wallet my best detective gaze. The leather was worn, but soft to the touch, with intricate patterning on the exterior. The saddle stitching indicating a well-made luxury item that had seen better days. On the inside, branded into the material were the initials TL. I looked for a driver's license or some other kind of ID, but along with the photo I found earlier, all I came away with was a flyer for a fun fair, a losing racing stub from Hollywood Park, some loose change including some foreign coins, and a receipt for a case of beer from a liquor store across town. I turned one of the coins over in my hand. There was a hole in the middle and 1 kroner written on the face. Wasn't much to go on. I decided to head over to Hollywood Park. Maybe the guy was a regular, and if nothing else, I could try my luck back in a horse or two. It was a busy day at the track. Punters bustled, hustlers hustled, jockeys jockeyed, and the bookies cleaned up. Around this joint, no one was interested unless you were flashing the cash. I felt practically invisible. I picked up today's program and checked out the lineup. I like the sound of Gumshoe Ground Pounder at 5-1 in the 7th. Almost this. Fat Philly at 25-1. Owned by, you guessed it, Fatso Jabroni. It's not like Fatso to back a loser. Maybe he's losing his touch. I approached the betting window with the last of my mystery money. 5 on Gumshoe in the 7th.
Sure thing, pal. Here you go.
Say, were you working last Saturday?
I have a sick wife and 2 no-good kids that take every opportunity to bleed me dry. I work every day except Sunday. Means I don't have to see him.
Take a look at this photograph. You seen this guy?
You kidding? I see a million guys like him, all losers. You're holding up the line.
Well, maybe he didn't just play the odds. Maybe he was a full-on horse aficionado who enjoyed chit-chat with the horse looker-afterers. As long shots went, it made Fat Philly sound enticing, but with nothing else to go on, I waved the photograph around the upper tier before heading discreetly down to the stables. There were surprisingly fewer people around than I expected. Maybe jockeys, trainers, and various horse staff all took cigarette breaks at the same time. The horses were alert and seemed on edge. Maybe they didn't like an honest PI trying to make a quick buck on the back of their efforts. Or maybe it was because having spent the morning at the morgue, I smelled like every veterinary visit they'd ever had, all come at once. I checked out the colors on the nearest horse to those in my program. Gumshoe Ground Pounder. How's it going, horsey counterpart? Just then, I saw a small man in a long, dark coat with a large hat coming out of the forest stable and entering the next one. I was going to ask him about the man in the photograph, but my PI senses told me he had about as much reason to be here as I did. A few seconds later, he came out of the stable again, moving into the next. He systematically moved into each stable except for one. I looked it up in my program. Fat Philly. As he disappeared into the closest horse house, I silently maneuvered behind him and followed him in. I watched as he opened his coat and pulled out a large syringe. So that's the real game. This guy was slipping more Mickeys than Walt Disney at a rodent drawing competition. So Fatso puts in a rank outsider at 25-1, has one of his goons pay off or threaten the track crew, and then he tranks up the competition, and Fat Philly romps home as king of the horses. Huh, not on my watch. We gumshoes gotta stick together. Is Fat Philly so fat you have to slow down the other horses so he stands a chance?
Maybe you need slowing down, wise guy.
Nice knife. Is that in case the horses fight back? Whoa, you nearly had my PI out. Before you try and kill me, can you tell me if you've seen the guy in this picture? Didn't anyone ever tell you not to go around the back of a horse waving a knife around? There's a chance you might get kicked. Either that or he didn't like the smell of my eau de morgue cologne. I looked into the guy's startled eyes as he grasped his crushed ribs with the realization that he was heading to the big derby in the sky. I nodded to the horse as I covered the body with straw. I didn't want anyone finding him anytime soon. Ground Pounder deserved the chance to win his race and let a fellow gumshoe clean up. Right now I needed a drink before Gumshoe pounds the competition into the ground. I elbowed my way to the bar and ordered my usual. After checking both wallets, I dropped a handful of change on the bar. Drinking my whiskey, I looked up to see the bartender had taken my change to a large, angry-looking man. I pulled my hat down and turned to walk away as he lumbered toward me.
Leifson, I warned you about trying it on with your damn worthless foreign metal trash here. Don't walk away from me. Turn around.
Hey, you ain't Travis Leifson. Not the last time I checked. Say, do you know where I can get a hold of Travis?
You still owe me for the drink.
I filled it through the shrapnel I had in the wallet, pulling out American coins only.
Get out of here.
Fat Philly wins in the 7th.
Of course he did. So Fat Philly crushed Gumshoe Ground Pounder in a dog food, even without a tranquilizer to slow him down. I don't know why I was surprised. Bad news for one gumshoe, but good news for another. I had a name. Now all I needed was an address. Travis Leifson wasn't in the phone book, but he might be in another directory. I made my way to the closest police box and jimmied the lock with the help of my PI toolkit.
Police information.
Hey, it's Ted Stanton here. Badge number 8272. I need an address for a Mr. Travis Leifson.
Sure, no problem, Ted. Hey, how are the feet?
Still attached.
Classic, Ted. I'll call you back in 5.
Never fails. Except for that time I called and he was walking past information. When he realized what was happening, he had to pretend to be his own twin brother come calling. Huh, classic Ted. 10 minutes later, the phone rang. Only one Travis Leifson on record. Multiple accounts of burglary, theft, and assault.
an arm's length of minor offenses, and a 2-year stretch in Fulcrum Penitentiary. Time to tool up and pay Mr. Leifson a visit. The address from the police was in Bunker Hill, a notorious area of LA populated by the downtrodden and impoverished. It wasn't so long since the upper class built their mansions here, all Gothic architecture and imposing towers. Now they were crumbling to dust, just like the people who lived there. Windows boarded, doors bolted. What little money people have isn't being spent on basic home maintenance. Around the mansions grew cheap and nasty apartment buildings, owned by the slum landlords. You know the type. Those who prefer favors to cold hard cash. And when the favors run out, so do the tenants, before they were kicked to the curb with a size 10 jackboot. I drove slowly, keeping my gaze away from the nefarious deals being made in dark alleyways. Hey, business before pleasure. I reached a group of buildings that resembled houses. Parking the Chevy at the side of the crumbling road, I adjusted the weight of the gun in my left pocket and the brass dusters in my right. A gift from my mother. The porch stairs leading to the house were dry and rotten. Each step I took was a creaking warning to the uninvited. I could smell the smoke and cheap cuts of meat burning on an outdoor grill. I approached the door and did my PI knock. Somewhere between welcome house guest and friendly neighborhood salesman. The Goldilocks. Not too soft, not too loud. Just right. A timbre that rolled like the bass drum in a smooth jazz band, spreading warmth throughout.
Yeah?
Works every time. Hi there, I'm looking for Travis.
Oh, you must be one of Travis' workmates. I'm so glad he finally invited one of you. He said he would. You're just in time.
That smells great.
Travis special. Flea and grill pork chop. Go through, he's out back. I'm sure he'll be glad to see you. Beer?
Sure, thanks.
Ow! Premium pork chops, my ass. Who the hell are you?
Travis, it's John. You invited me, remember? Hey, your girl's a looker. Punching above your weight there, Travis. Especially with that hair, or lack thereof. You should try swapping the motor oil for Brill cream. Easier on the scalp, if not the, wallet.
June, run to the store and grab some more beers. I've just finished the last one, and John looks thirsty.
There's more beer in the refrigerator.
Well, we need more. John said he couldn't make it, but now he's here, and he's a heavy drinker.
I am rather parched.
Jesus, if we spend as much money on housekeeping as you do on beer, I might be able to afford some new stockings once in a while.
Just get some beer, now. Okay, smart ass. Where did you get that wallet?
Right where you dropped it. I'm here to return it.
Really? That's exceedingly kind of you. Now give it here and get lost.
Is that the way to return the kindness of a stranger?
You want a reward? The only reward I have for you is the fresh air you're breathing.
I come here all the way across town and all I get is a get lost? How about the answer to a few questions? You ever heard of Hank Jensen?
Are you a cop?
No, I ain't a cop. I'm just looking into something, and I thought you could help me out.
Ah, Private Dick then. No, I don't know anybody called that. Why would I?
Hey, I just figured you must be friends, what with me finding your wallet in his house and all.
You found my wallet in his place? Then he, must be the guy that stuck me up.
Stuck you up?
Yes, I was minding my own business. Then this man appears out of nowhere with a gun and demanding my valuables. That must be him. Or a friend of his, taking my stuff and leaving it in his place for you to find.
Well, that clears that up then. Mugged in L.A. What is the world coming to? Looks like they took all of your money.
Scum! It makes me angry.
Angry enough to commit murder?
What?
Hank Jensen was found dead in his bathtub the next morning.
Hey, I didn't kill anybody. I'm the victim here.
Being mugged like that, it's not an everyday thing. I'm sure you told your girl all about it. Let's say we wait here till she comes back and she can tell me all about it.
Don't you go near my wife.
Hey, easy with a spatula. You might hurt yourself. As he ran towards me, arms swinging, I took a step back, my fingers slipping easily through the cool, smooth grips of her mother's love. How about you start giving me some answers before I start giving you some holes?
Okay, I was there.
To murder Hank Jensen.
No, I'm not a murderer. I was having it away with Lady Jensen, and my wallet must have slipped out of my pants while we were going at it.
Really? Well, what does Mrs. Jensen look like?
Pretty damn good.
Well, now I know you're a lying piece of scum. Nice story. Let me tell you one. You spotted Hank Jensen coming out of Fatso's nightclub, throwing his cash around, trying to impress some broad. And you thought he'd have plenty more where that came from. You followed him home. He opened the door. You pushed him in, demanding he take you to the money. But he didn't have any money. But now he'd seen your face, and you couldn't let him squeal to the cops. In a rage, you forced Jensen at gunpoint into the bathtub, where you shot him at point-blank range before putting your gun in his hand to make it look like a suicide.
What? No! You are a terrible, terrible detective. Why would there be a struggle if I had a gun? Why would I let him see my face? Wouldn't I wear a mask or something?
We'll see what a jury thinks once they take your record into account.
Okay. I wasn't seeing Mrs. Jensen. I was at the house, but I didn't commit murder. I'd been out with my friends, shooting some pool, had a few beers. I was trying to get a ride home when I saw some guy leaving Fatso's in a hurry, hugging the biggest hold-all you have ever seen, trying to call a cab. An amount of money that big is hard to ignore. I followed him home, waited outside until I heard him go to the bathroom. I slipped in through the window, thinking he would leave the money in the bedroom or the living room. Who on earth takes the money to the bathroom? Anyways, I thought I'd wait until he went to sleep and help myself to the goods.
Then you thought you'd cut to the chase, shoot him, make it look like a suicide, then take the money.
No, not even close. I waited patiently in the dark. You need patience in my line of work. I'm like a cat stalking a mouse.
Before killing the mouse.
No. Anyways, I'm waiting all quiet when I hear an almighty bang. I've never moved so fast in my life. I figure he'd heard me and come out all guns blazing. I was out of that window quicker than a greased-up moose sliding down a glacier. Only noticed my wallet was missing once I was safely outside. No way was I going to go back in there and get shot up for a couple of bucks.
I mean, that sounds like quite a tale.
I am telling you the truth.
Do you know what? I believe you. I'm not sure the police would, but it's your lucky day, Travis, because I'm gonna cut you a deal.
Oh, yeah? What kind of deal?
I'm gonna give you back your wallet, and I'm gonna keep your name out of this case, and in return, you're gonna owe me a favor. His story was wild, but I knew in my gut it was probably true. The only thing this guy could murder was a decent steak. So, who the hell did kill Hank Jensen? I reached into my coat to find something to wipe the sweat from my brow and found the note written on a cocktail napkin in bright red lipstick. Better get ready for my hot date at Fatso's.
You've just been listening to Wiggles P.I. in 2 Bites of the Cherry. Starring the voices of Dale Brett, Alan Carmichael, Ivy D., and Niklaus Feel. You can find Ivy D at voiceacting.love-takes-work.com. To find out more about Wiggles P.I., head over to noircastmedia.com.
Hey there, it's Joe here from Joe's Bar. Let's finish with one of Wiggles' signature cocktails, the Double Double, aka Breakfast Be Damned. Take a low ball glass, 2 large ice cubes, 4 shots of whiskey, and 2 Alka-Seltzers on stir. Enjoy.